going on? Welcome back to Broke Boy Gaming. I know this is a little bit different from what we normally do. We normally upload like a podcast like every other week, but we're going to be trying a few new things out with, dishing out a new like shorter.
We're trying to dish out more content frequently.
Essentially. So today we have Jared with us today.
Hey everyone.
And we have Seth.
Oh, should we start? Hey, what's up?
And Dev Doug will be joining us later. He's just running a little late. So the Nintendo Direct today.
I hear. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Here's Devin. Here he is.
Really?
Here he is. Yeah.
Whoa! Look at
Devin's
that.
here.
That was a grand
Right on
entrance,
time.
wasn't it?
Fascinating.
What's going on, Devin?
Hello.
All right, so Devin, we started recording like 35 seconds ago, so
I sensed it.
Devin, you don't understand. Like, literally, I went through everyone's
like-
name. They're like, hi, hello. I'm like, yeah, Dev Doug will be with us here shortly. He's just taking a little bit longer. And then I was like, so, yeah, welcome to the discussion. And then it was like, speak of the devil. I'm like, whoa. I summoned him.
Phenomenal, my G.
Perfect.
That was literally perfect timing.
Tattoo is crossed on my forehead, so this shit don't happen. it's nice.
You guys are crazy. Too much.
All right, so anyways, our topic of discussion today is we're talking about the Nintendo Direct, the Switch games that are going to be released in this year. A lot of them are in May, but it was just mostly this year for 2018. In addition to that, we're also going to be talking about potential new releases for major companies that have already been thinking about what they're going to do for E3, because I don't know, for some reason they're releasing information about their E3 like 4 months before it occurs.
There's always speculation around this time.
Yeah, there's always speculation,
anyway.
but this is like literally they just released info. It's like, oh, here, this is what we're gonna have. It's like, okay, this is like really early to do this, but okay, whatever. Who I'm talking about specifically is
I'm sorry.
What?
I had to post a picture really quick. I know we're recording, but
this is okay. So he just put a picture of Eminem currently,
And Jared's drawing next to it.
and okay, Chris, when you put this, when we upload this video, this has to be in the background.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna pop it in. Look at that.
So off topic.
Okay,
Also,
I'm
out of my
sorry. I was
room.
scrolling
Oh
through
my
Facebook
God.
inside. And I was like,
Okay, so for the
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct, we have all Switch games news for March 2018 event. Well, so we have a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not really that big into Nintendo, so most of these titles I'm not even aware of, or I don't even know what the hell they are.
okay,
But,
so it's a lot of these games that came out. I mean, there's some there's about 4 games like 3DS news wise, whatever. And then there's a good amount for the Switch. Just for the 3DS, really quick, WarioWare Gold is supposed to be coming out August 3rd. Haven't really played a lot of WarioWare since it first came out on the Wii, I want to say. It was fun. No, I'm sorry, not the Wii. It was, I think it was a DS game. I remember playing WarioWare game at some point when I was younger. I owned it, but it was fun. There's a lot of micro games and a single package type deal, which is kind of cool. But Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers, I have no clue what that game is. Mario and Luigi.
It's a Western series.
You can play with your Miis and.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems kind of cool. I mean, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, sorry, we're not that read up on this. We don't really have that much Nintendo stuff now, but
Devin's the only one with a Switch, so
yeah, and we really only use those things for exclusives, like the major AAA exclusive games like Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. So
pretty much, yeah. But yeah,
we have a Luigi's Mansion 3DS remake now. I never got to play.
Skipped right over Mario and Luigi's Bowser Inside Story.
I don't know what that is.
Bowser Jr.'s journey. It's it's kind of like RPG-ish.
It's inside of Bowser, and you control. What the
Yeah.
hell is going on?
And then we have Luigi's Mansion 3DS remake.
Yeah, I never got a chance to play Luigi's Mansion.
It was
I
a really
wanted
fun
to.
game. I played it a lot on the GameCube over my neighbor's house. We spent some hours with that because I remember
They're making it.
Huh?
It says it's gonna have like a new like mini maps. They're making it more like modern.
A Bosch. Yeah. Like
Actually modern.
I remember when Luigi's Mansion first came out, like for the GameCube. It was like when the GameCube first came out. It was like its first big like first party studio game, and everyone was expecting a like a Mario game.
Yeah.
And then it was like, psych, we're gonna give you Luigi's Mansion. Where they're like, no need.
What?
No need. But yeah, and then Switch news, Okami is coming to Switch. There's Dark Souls Amiibos coming as well.
I don't even know. Let's see.
The Amiibos?
Yeah.
Sushi Striker, Octopath, Travis Strikes Again, Captain Toad, Undertale to be announced.
We have
we
Crash
got-
Bandicoot Insane Trilogy coming out July 10.
baby!
And
And
so
Xbox.
currently, right?
Sony ponies.
And so not really suck at Sony. They already have it, but technically right now, it's on
No.
PlayStation
I said
4.
suck at Sony ponies. There's a lot of Sony fans out there, and I'm not
Yeah,
trying
but
to,
I mean-
undermine anyone. But there's a lot of
No.
Sony fans out there who are like,
No,
Crash will
I'm-
never come to any other platform, and blah
Just-
blah blah blah.
Not trying to undermine anybody, but you just said suck it, Sony ponies.
Yeah.
I said that prior to.
You're
Yeah.
Right, but
Hypocrite.
so Sony,
I'm just saying,
if
it's
you guys on PS4, you already had it last year, so this isn't really new to you. This is revolutionary for the Nintendo Switch because it'll make people actually want to buy it.
What?
I'm just kidding.
It's-
Do you know how
it's-
much the Switch is sold?
the Switch is,
Yeah,
the Switch is
that's
big
Sony
as
console,
Microsoft.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's literally the most sold
It's
console
the
right
best selling
Yes, it
console
is.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
now.
Ever.
I'm just being
Ever.
stupid.
Best
I want to get a
handheld
Switch for.
ever.
I want to get a Switch for Breath of the Wild.
It's
I'm
also
just saying
coming.
that.
It's also coming out for Xbox and PC.
Oh yeah, it definitely
but-
is. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
this
just a
is,
matter
this,
of
is,
time.
this is another reason to get the Nintendo Switch. You also have it portable, sorta.
Completely.
Pockets are
Yeah,
deep.
You know, when we pull up to the boys' functions, instead of bringing all our PCs, we could just bring the Switches.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm never bringing my PC to any regardless house. I'm sorry, it's way too big. Like
Mine's not that big. I don't have a problem.
When we
If I
had that
had, like, my
Skyrim,
mid-tower
when we
case,
hey,
sure, but not like
Seth
a
and
full
Christian.
tower. What's up?
when we had the Skyrim basement, who was the
Oh my
who
God.
bought their PC? Was it Dakota?
No, I brought my
That
TV.
one time. Their PC the one time.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
was
when we
it?
were at Matt's house. That
No,
was,
at my house, it was. I think it
I
was
think it was-
Dakota because
yeah.
Dakota was on the PC first.
Yeah, we used to make fun of him all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
And look at us
Well,
now.
that's because he would carry it around everywhere. That's why we would make fun of him. It's like, what the hell are you
No,
doing? You're
me
like,
and
oh,
Devin specifically made fun of him because he was gaming on PC. And now we're on PC. Like,
Got
I
him.
remember one time we were at Matt's and me and Devin was like, Dakota brought his PC. Like, you're going to play your little mouse and keyboard there, buddy? And yeah,
RuneScape.
RuneScape? But yeah,
Then we have
Little Nightmares Complete
Yeah.
Edition. Never heard
on
of
May
it.
18th. So this is a side-scroll puzzle horror game. It's interesting because throughout the whole game, when I was watching somebody play it, I wasn't sure if they were the bad guy or not.
Oh, did you watch the direct
I
as
watched
well?
people play it. Yeah, I watched the
Okay.
stream.
I was
didn't
like,
know.
I hope you're just
It's,
not
like,
reading
weird. I'm
off
pretty
it.
sure there might be like crazy ass plot twists in there. But it was really fun watching somebody play it. It was really eerie. I probably couldn't play it because there wasn't like enough music that was like drowning out my outside noises.
Yeah.
So I'd probably wind up yelling at somebody because they're being too loud. But so then we go to South Park: The Fractured But Whole on April 24th for the
Yeah,
Nintendo Switch.
Betty.
Now, why you want to play this in public? Who knows?
Go ahead. You know what? It's a
Do it.
great TV show. I played all the way through The Stick of Truth on Xbox at a buddy's house, and now I have it on PC.
And also
Love
a thing, I don't know if they're going to do this with the Switch, but for the company, when you buy the Fractured But Whole, it also includes the
all the games DLC.
Stick of Truth along with it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
So
They started
you
doing
get,
that.
So you when you buy the sequel, you get the prequel. First,
Hey.
So it's great.
You buy the sequel, get the prequel.
Yeah.
And then we have ARMS US and Canada's online open tournament.
What?
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. It's literally like if you're playing Dynasty Warriors, right?
That's literally what it is. It's just
It's
Dynasty
lit-
Warriors
yeah.
with
Dynasty
Zelda
Warriors.
shit.
Yeah, with
but,
a Zelda
you know,
skin. You guys remember
Don't say it's
Soul
bad with it.
Calibur?
Link.
We could play Link
course I do.
on the GameCube version, and then
I didn't have the GameCube. I had the PS2, so I got Heihachi.
Oh, dude, because when Soul Calibur 4 came out, what was it? It was either Darth Vader or Luke. I mean, not
Yoda.
Luke. Yoda for Xbox. And like I had Xbox, but like I like really wanted to play Darth Vader because
He's Darth Vader.
yeah, he's the baddest mofo in the galaxy. Like,
You know what
come
I
on.
never understood about Yoda, bro? Like in the video games, right?
What?
Or even in the movies.
What, Jared?
How come this dude needs a cane, right? But then when he's fighting, he's all hopping around.
Because he's using the Force, my guy.
Bro, why doesn't
He
he just use the
preserves
Force all
his
the time?
energy.
Why does he just
He
use the
doesn't
Force
like
all
to
the time?
like exert it all that much. He's old. He's wise.
I didn't know this turned into a Star Wars debate.
I'm sorry.
He's
That was
kind of
off
like
topic. What?
Yoda is like Dumbledore. Because like in the books, Dumbledore is, even though he's old, he's very mobile. And like I feel that, you know, especially when it comes to action, you know, Yoda gets in there and he takes care of, like, come on, man, this is Yoda we're talking. Anyway, so the next game is Mario Tennis Aces on June 22nd.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good call. I've always enjoyed like the Mario sports games in general.
That Mario basketball game. That was
I remember
good.
Mario
there?
Strikers, the
was-
soccer
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
There was a
There was
basketball
a
game?
tennis
There's a
game.
basketball on it, yeah.
I do
Was
not
there?
remember a
Dude.
basketball game.
Hold on.
Can you prove it?
Yeah, I can prove it.
There was a wait,
Ah,
what?
yeah.
I actually can.
You know what? I actually think this is right.
It was
They-
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Yeah, that's right. Was it for the DS or was that
That
for
was
the Wii?
it was for
I
the
can't remember.
It was for the DS, but then there was another one later. There was Super Mario. Hold on, it was. There's Mario Hoops, Mario. There's a whole bunch of different Mario sports games. That's just one of them, and that was for the DS. But there was another one that was for the GameCube.
Oh, really?
One that was. I think that was. That was Mario Superstar. There's Mario Superstar Baseball. I don't know, man. There's just all sorts of shit. But it's great. Yes, Mario Hoops 3-on-3 was also on the Wii.
I've never heard of this game.
I'm kind of regretting this Hufflepuff post.
Oh my god. Okay, but besides the point, what's next? We have Splatoon 2.
Version
Never played
3.0.
Splatoon.
I hear it's a really good game. I've heard.
Splatoons was good. I played
Yeah.
it for the Wii U a couple of times at Ethan's place, and it was cool. But I don't know. It was just because the Wii U gamepad was so fucking wonky and huge and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
But like, I have a feeling with a Pro controller for the Switch, it'll probably be very, very smooth. I haven't played it yet, but you know, just from experience from the first game, you have to imagine them doing too many different things in terms of the controls from the first game to the second, outside of optimization for, you know, the Pro controller or the Joy Cons,
Yeah.
etc.
What type of game is it? Because I don't even know.
It's like, so you play as these little as
It's
these
a
little
first-person shooter.
Yeah,
as
like
these squid people, right? And
Pretty.
because you're squid, you know, ink, and you shoot the shit. It's kind of like you ever played Pro Skater, like Tony Hawk? Remember how to do this shit where like you had to do tricks on walls and you would like paint that wall? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like that, but there's more game modes than that. And instead of just like doing tricks, you're literally shooting paint at shit. And like the more turf you have, that's like a basic game type, or maybe the only game type. I'm not really too sure.
right.
But that's pretty much it. You
Essentially,
use like paint,
it's-
paint guns, paint rollers, shotguns, and you can like turn into a little squid thing and like travel through your paint until
Mhm.
you hit like enemy paint. It's actually pretty cool. It's
I
real cute.
didn't think that game was gonna do as well as it did, to the point where they made a second one, and I was like, Oh, well, I guess people are playing it because I was.
Oh yeah,
I
Version
really thought it was just like,
3.0.
oh, this is like a Call of Duty kind of like ish type, like fun version for like Nintendo players, like a shooter without being an actual shooter. And I guess it's been doing pretty well.
it's been
You
kicking
can look
ass.
for that in April of this year.
And then
And then we got the big reveal.
the
Somebody wanna
Super
do a drum
Smash
roll?
Bros. Switch
Bro, come on.
2018. I'm
Supposed to
sorry.
be a drum roll, man.
Drum
Alright,
roll,
and-
you
Drum roll.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, hey, you already know what we said. Here it is. Super Smash Bros. Switch. Sometime
Alright,
for
later
the
this
Switch.
year.
It's for the Switch.
So-
For the Switch.
So here's
Oh, yeah.
here's my thing about this. This can be
Yeah.
either one of two things. It's gonna be a complete edition of Smash 4 ported to the Switch, which
Mhm.
is completely reasonable considering the fact that I'm pretty sure Smash 4 came out like
It's like
2014, 15, somewhere around there.
something like that.
Hold on, let me look it up real quick just to be correct.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I want. It's either 13, 14, 14. I'm going 14.
What?
No, I'm going 15.
No, October 3rd, 2014.
Ah,
For the DS, and then November 21st, 2014.
that's right.
for the
That's
Wii
right.
U.
Yeah, I forgot they made.
Because they released the DS version first,
Mm-hmm.
but basically 2014. So it's been at least 3
Been a good-
years.
At least.
So-
yeah.
A good 3.
The possibility of them making a new Smash is not.
Almost 4 years.
It's not impossible.
It's
you know,
not.
between-
I just.
Between Brawl and Smash 4, it was like roughly around that time. Within the cycle of a console. That's
Yeah.
typically how the Smash games go. It goes N64 and then GameCube. Then it's one per console.
Yeah.
So it could be the new Smash game. Now I think personally it's just gonna be the port because that's what a lot of people have been asking. They don't want to just use the damn Wii U to death to play Smash 4.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
I would appreciate a full edition because like I said before, the Smash 4 has DLC characters like Ryu, Bayonetta, etc., etc. If it's just a complete edition of Smash 4 ported to the Switch, that would be pretty cool. And then maybe a year or two we'll get the new game. Or if this is the new game, then fuck. All right, cool. It's like, I didn't really expect
It's a
it to-
win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win either way because Smash 4 is not a bad game whatsoever. I got the shit downstairs, so it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I think about it, I'm done.
And okay, so now I think we're gonna transition topics, but it's still relevant to
Wait, hold on. Before we go anywhere with this topic,
what
I
the
would like to
hell?
say a few words that Pokemon was not.
A few words.
I'm just saying.
What you saying?
Where's the Pokemon, Nintendo? We've been researching. You said it was supposed to come out this year, 2018.
Bro,
I'm
maybe they
on
ran
my
out of
fucking
ideas.
Pokemon. I'm
Man,
Bro,
saying,
maybe they ran out of ideas for
Man,
Pokemon.
bro.
How many do we have?
boy,
Man,
I want a faithful, traditional Pokemon game.
Hey,
Write
no,
this down, Nintendo.
I want a
Shigeru Miyamoto,
Pokemon-
you better be
Listen,
listening.
bro.
What's
I
up?
want a Pokemon game that's like just okay. So you remember Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD Guild?
Oh
Darkness?
hell yeah!
Oh,
Of course.
I
Okay,
want
yeah.
a free Pokemon game.
A new
that
Pokemon Stadium game would be perfect.
Listen, bro.
Like,
It has the graphics of those and like the same style of those, but like an actual like full fledged Pokemon game. Like tall grass and shit and stuff like that. I want a game like fucking that, dude.
See,
I know you guys could do it because you have Coliseum and Gale Darkness, and with this software, I mean, you freaking Breath of the Wild run on
how
Switch.
long has it been
It's-
since there's been a
it's
Pokemon
possible to
Stadium
do.
game? Or a Pokemon Snap game would be perfect. Is there
is there a camera function for the Switch?
A what? A camera function?
Yeah.
Let's look it
Devin?
up. Camera Switch.
As he looks over to his Switch, and there's like.
Apparently there is a camera, but like
It's got to be garbage.
oh,
There's a huge-
absolutely.
it says there's a multiple camera Switch feature in that's I don't.
Okay, even
Why would you need the? Why are you about to say Pokemon Go on the Nintendo Switch?
no,
I
no,
don't think-
hear me out. Pokemon.
I was thinking,
No,
like,
seriously, but Pokemon Go, if they turn that into like a Pokemon Snap thing, that would be perfect. It really would, if you actually think about it. But anyway, Shigeru Miyamoto, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. I want a full traditional Pokemon game.
See,
Or
here's the thing.
Just surprise. They're not even going to be at E3 because they stopped going to E3 like years ago. Nintendo did. I'm just like, Now they have like their little 30-minute direct thing, and everyone's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, where's the Monster Hunter, bro? Where's the Pokemon, bro? That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I'm saying. Like,
In
I'm
good time, they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it perfect.
Here's my thing, right? 1 second, I gotta do some research.
How much, bro?
Like, give me less than 30 seconds. All
Like
right.
a thesis?
He
So-
said less than 30 seconds.
Pokemon Sun and Moon, right?
Yeah.
That game came out November 18th, 2016.
Oh, you're gonna hit it with
X-
math.
X and Y came out 2013, October 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they released what was it? The
Black-
second batch. The second batch of
You
Moon
mean
and Sun.
wait? What about Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? Because
Well, we don't mention that game. All right. So
what? Those are like the best.
these were the Omega Ruby and the other one. Those were ass games.
No, I was talking about like Ruby and Sapphire in general. Because
Why
technically,
do we need to know that shit? No, I'm talking about in terms of your little spout about how whoever didn't put Pokemon on the shit. I'm saying that because they just they released the main Moon and then they released like another version of Moon, how like they did X and Y, and then it did a Omega Ruby. We determining from this information, it might get a Pokemon ship next year. I would say that would be safe to assume that they might release something next year. Maybe not the game, but maybe like a trailer or something like that. Some more information. I don't think they're gonna do anything right now, considering the fact that the Switch is still kind of like obtaining titles and getting games and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they still probably need like a few moments to be like, okay, do we completely change Pokemon because we have better hardware now, or do we keep it the same? You know what I mean?
it's just
That's my opinion. I don't know, because like
I
they
know
have
what you're
the
saying.
technology. They can really be like, okay,
we have the technology.
they
So-
they could go full fledged with this new Pokemon game once it gets to this, or they could keep it completely safe and just the same,
But
and just you know what I mean?
The
I
last
want
time,
it to be the roots. I want the roots to be the same. Like
the
like
last
I
time
feel.
they released something was Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That was November
Yeah,
17th.
Ultra Sun and Ultra.
So
Yeah.
from what Seth has said,
In that
judging
Pokken
judging by their
tournament game.
judging by their patterns of like when a new DS comes out, they'll usually remake all of their past games on that one and then come out with the new Pokemon.
Could you
So,
imagine?
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon I'm pretty sure that's the last remake of the one that they need.
Okay,
correct?
but
Yeah.
like I think it was
Very likely that
Pokemon.
we could get another Pokemon this year, or if not, then the next year. I say we probably definitely are.
This shit better come out. They better come back for E3. It better just be some type of like super secret surprise game because I know they're working on it, and I will find you, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because
Yeah,
the Switch is like kind of a connection between mobile and like console gaming. Are they taking their time to completely make a badass Pokemon game that's still like core Pokemon, but like in terms of graphics and maybe mechanics as well, or how like the animations go with them making attacks or whatever? Are they gonna do that shit, or are they just figuring out, okay, new software, what the hell even? You know what I mean? And they're just gonna play it safe and still make the same shit. Like that's the thing that I'm
I'm
not
I see
worried
what you're
about, but that's
saying.
what I'm thinking. You know?
Right, right.
That's probably why they haven't released anything, because maybe they don't even know what the fuck is going on. So like,
They probably don't, man. I swear Nintendo really
Especially, too, 'cause,
honestly
like, I
doesn't
mean-
know what they're doing half the time. But
3DSs are still like in rotation and still used somewhat. So it's like, do we just completely kill that shit because of the Switch, or do we still keep it
you
going?
know what?
Like,
That's a great segue into our next topic because
Nani?
I was talking to Mandy Lee. You can find her on YouTube, Mandy Lee Plays. She's great. She's new to the YouTube scene. She absolutely adores Nintendo in general. And I was talking with her on my Twitter earlier today, and she had mentioned that, people are kind of just like want the 3DS to die, and she doesn't want that to happen. And I was kind of talking with her. It was like, well, you got. I was like, think of it this way: when it comes to like when it comes to the Switch, yes, it's a hybrid console. You can play it on your big screen and you can play it on the go. But Nintendo seems to market it more for a, hey, it's a home console, but you can take it with you wherever you go. You can play all your games. I'm not sure how long the battery lasts, like full charge outside of the docking station. But I was telling him, like, well, think of it this way: why keep two different portable devices when like they can easily just port all those 3DS games, or just have like a 3DS type of like eShop on the Switch? And the Switch obviously has better hardware than the 3DS. The 3DS is super limited, and it's like Nintendo said themselves that they literally want every single person in the world to own a Switch in general, because I feel like it's honestly going to slowly take over the 3DS, because it's like, well, why do I have two portable things if I can just have a hybrid console that I can play, and then I can just toss out my 3DS games, and if they make those 3DS games available on the Switch, like excuse me, through the eShop or some type of solution like that, I think it's honestly going to be a 3DS killer. I mean, it sucks because the 3DS sells so well, but it's like, if they're making this much money off the Switch, it's kind of like, why hassle two when you can just have one altogether?
I want to start by adding to this question.
Mm-hmm.
Here are 2 points that I think reasonably, just from both products' perspectives, of why they're probably not going to kill it soon. First things first, 3DS games are different in terms of the layout of the game. There's the screen that projects and there's the screen
Very
that you
true.
interact. So I've only played the Switch twice, but I don't know if the hardware itself can do that. You know what I mean? I've never really seen ports of DS games to like just single shits. Like, I mean, I've seen emulators, of course, but like that's only for like Pokemon, where you don't really have to do shit with the bottom of the screen.
I feel as if
Second thing is, even if they were to figure that out, 3DS has been out for a while. Now they're gonna have to make a shit ton of ports of games if they were gonna consider doing that to just kill it off.
True.
And also,
I'm not saying this will all happen like within the next like few years. I'm just saying, and slowly. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess this is my logic.
From a business perspective, if they were to kill it off, they would lose more money than they would gain. So they're better off producing both.
Unless they're making that same amount of money from Switch sales.
Christian, but the thing is, they're profiting from both of these, so they're not gonna stop selling something unless it stops making them money.
Well, yeah, that money. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, hey, the Switch is doing so well, let's just kill out the 3DS. I'm saying that once the Switch, starts making that type of money to the point where it literally does not matter if you have a 3DS or a Switch, then yeah, I would just kill off the. That's what I'm saying.
If further down the line they start to basically make every single 3DS release for the Switch, then yes, I could see that happening. But as it's like currently, we don't really know. So yes, your thing could work, but it also but the reality of it is that the 3DS is producing a fairly large quantity of monetary value for them, and the Switch is as well. So as they're concerned, they're still going to be producing games for each individually instead. Whereas because there's this brings us back to our old debate about why consoles versus PC, why it's bad for consoles to have exclusives. Well, this is one instance that I was talking about. It was that this is an instance of an exclusive in terms of platform in the same company. Exclusives are designed to make more money for that specific company if they own it directly. And so in this instance, this is an instance of them making more money with an exclusive that's only on their console. So it's like it uh, it's mostly like business. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, which it would make more sense than, just all have it in one location. But since Nintendo has always had two things, that's probably not going to happen. Whereas, like, other
True.
things, other things have normally stuck to one, and then when they tried to split to two, it didn't work, such as PlayStation and the PSP. They
Oh yeah,
tried,
the
they
PS Vita.
tried it, but since they didn't, but since from the get go they weren't like that, they failed. Uh, I don't think I don't think Microsoft is going to try that.
I think the most that Microsoft will do is the play anywhere with PC shit. That's like the
Yeah.
extent of they'll do for two
Yeah,
like quote unquote platforms.
yeah, and even then, it's just it's still Microsoft and Microsoft. So, but it's not really
Right.
like it's not like they're releasing a new thing. They're just optimizing it for another one. Whereas
Right.
Nintendo has always been two since like the longest I can think of, or since they were able to. So they like own the handheld game, the handheld
True.
universe. So, um,
It's gonna be very interesting to see what they do in the future, though. You like
yeah,
Christian bringing that up. Like
yeah,
what like what would they do now that they have this integration? Would they keep the DS series going? Because, like you said, like a lot of people own DSs. I still
yeah,
own my DS. This thing is a killer with the population for children. Like a lot of it's still
exactly.
pretty relevant towards kids today, at least from what I've seen. Like a lot of kids still have DSs, 3DSs, and 2DSs.
Hmm.
Or will they finally do the okay, Switch is gonna be the all around
Yeah,
thing,
or they could like
or
release two
they
versions
could
of a Switch, like make one little and one big.
like a mini Switch. That would be
Yeah.
kind of weird because it's like
Well, I mean, no, it'd be mini, like it'd be able to fit in your pockets. I know the Switch right now. Sure, if you feel like looking like a weirdo, you could fit any in your pockets. Or
Have you
big
ever
enough.
held one?
You could
no,
attempt. You
that's
could.
that's a dub. You cannot you can't put that inside of your pocket. I'm telling you that right now. You will
I know.
break
Cargo
that shit.
shorts.
Maybe
Okay, we're not. No cargo shorts. No
I can fit it-
cargo shorts.
I can fit it in every
that's
cargo
the
short
difference.
pocket.
Look,
No
cargo
Devin has a
shorts.
point. Devin
Cargo
has a
shorts
point.
are fine if they're not wrinkly, according to women. I have asked. However, if you're like if it's wrinkly, which most cargo shorts are, then it's wrong. But
Yeah,
It's
I'll
wrong.
just swing to I'll switch to salmon shorts instead because that's so much better.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well,
Yes,
there's
it is. It is.
Pastel
It
has
is.
shorts
I've had salmon
looking
shorts.
washed out when you buy them.
no. Hey, Christian, tell me this, bro.
What?
Why you be wearing boat shoes when you ain't on a boat?
Boy,
Hey.
boy.
Hey.
Boy. It's a style.
Huh?
It's a fashion.
Sperry's?
I don't
No,
even wear
dude.
Sperry's anymore, so it doesn't even matter.
Anymore. Look at him. He gave me
Yeah, I
He
wore them
said
in my frat
anymore.
days.
because you learned, bro.
Seth wear Tim's on a
I'm wearing
boat.
me some. Yeah, I'm
I would
start
totally
wearing me
wear
some,
Tim's
some
on a boat.
cowboy boots.
Look, first of all, cowboy boots and Timbs are all around. You can use them for
Yep.
anything. You could
We
beat
have-
somebody with a Timbs. You could beat somebody with a cowboy boot. I
Yep,
personally beat somebody with a Tim cowboy boot, bro.
Oh,
Do they even got them? Yo, if they do,
If
dead
they-
ass. Next time we go to Nashville, we're wearing Timberland cowboy boots.
Timberland.
No.
We're pulling up in Nashville.
Don't be coming down here with that. No.
Tim boots.
Tim boots with the little spokes on the back of the boot.
The spurs for horses. Yeah, you got it, bro.
But I think there's one thing I wanted to I was thinking about. They might start rolling out a new version of the DS with better
Mhm.
software. Like
I mean,
they could.
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, here, if you remember when they had the Game Boy Advance, then they were like, "Oh, look, Game Boy Advance SP." It's like, okay, but it was like the same thing. It was just like differently optimized. Literally the same exact thing. Instead of being a rectangle, it was a square. So it was like, wait,
And then they did SP to the DS series.
yeah,
That shit was like, yo, son.
yeah.
All right, so we've all agreed that we're going to outlaw cargo shorts altogether.
No, we're not outlawing
Nah.
certain.
Yes.
Nah.
Listen,
Yes.
For practical
take me
reasons,
to
I
jail.
cannot do that.
You will
Also,
never see
Christian-
me in cargo shorts ever again.
all right, bro. Good
You're
looking
alone
for a
on
date,
this.
bro. She ain't gonna have nowhere to store her shit.
They match
You
every.
ain't
They
gonna
match
have
everything.
some-
They
No,
match
no.
everything and they
You
comfortable.
know, you know what I've seen? Girls have stopped using purses, but this is not a fashion podcast. We could talk about that at another time.
Oh yeah, I got my fashion podcast, on the
Oh
low.
my
know,
god.
What?
He's like, listen here, Tim's all day.
that's
called-
literally would
Wake
be
up
it. It
in
would just be
Tim's. Take a shower
Tim's.
with Yo Tim's.
It's called facts. It's called facts faction.
It's called
Especially
Seth's Facts
Especially like,
Faction.
all right, this is all
With
you
your
need.
host, Seth.
You need Tim and Under Armour. That's all you need.
Under Armour.
I hate Under Armour. Nike's better.
Dude, I do too. You
Everybody
know, it's
knows
actually
it.
like, you know how it's highly corrosive. So you get
Hashtag
it.
change my mind.
Get Under Armour
my
close
God.
close to something warm enough, it'll start to melt. That's how shitty the material is. It's
Well,
like
do we have anything else to add to the actual topic?
okay,
at
so
hand?
we have
Sorry.
shit from Bethesda, right? Bethesda started to release
Bethesda.
stuff. Bethesda
Wait,
has started to.
This is it. What? I'm new to this.
Oh yeah, so they've started to release stuff for their E3, which is so far away, but they've started to like tell us stuff.
Not until like
So-
June, my guy.
So it's no secret that they've been. What? When's the last Elder Scrolls is 7 years?
2011 or
Yeah.
right?
yeah, 2011.
Yeah, it was 11,
And
11,
When was
11.
Fallout? When was Fallout? Fallout 4.
24th, 5th?
It was 2014. No, it was 2015.
2015, 2015.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
so-
I remember.
So
I flipped out when I saw that Will
what
Smith
they've
like
said from Bethesda is they said that they've been getting bored of just working on 2 IPs. So they said that they have been working for years now on a new one. And so what people have been doing, they've analyzed that. Okay, so the 3 major genres of like media are like post-apocalypse, futuristic, sci-fi, and fantasy films, right? So
Hmm.
Fallout
Facts.
is like post-apocalypse and future, right? And then Elder Scrolls is fantasy. So what they're thinking, people are thinking that they're going to release a science fiction one. So there's going to be it'll be like the Elder Scrolls, except that different races would be like different aliens, and you would have different interplanetary travel and shit like that, and it would be really interesting. I think it could rival. No,
Mass Effect.
it's Bethesda. It definitely would rival Mass Effect. It might even blow Mass Effect out of the fucking water, since Andromeda was a failure. And people weren't happy with the end of Mass Effect 3. So yeah, they think that they've been working on that, and people have thought that Bethesda's working on a Game of Thrones game. But the problem with that is that Bethesda likes making their own lore, like making their own story, and also I don't think they would want to be working on something that they don't completely own, because then they wouldn't have as much creative freedom.
Well, I mean, depending on when they set their game
and
within
it's
Westeros,
also, it would be too
it's-
similar to Skyrim. So it was like,
I mean, yeah,
yeah, it would be
only
because it's
only to a
another-
point because
It's another fantasy game, so
Okay,
I think they
no.
wanna.
I mean, like it is fantasy writing, but it's more like I mean, if you read the books or like watch the TV show or both, whatever, like Westeros in general, like the time where like the events that happen within Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, like they're really like there's myths and legends and tales about dragons and like the children of the forest and magic in general, but like during that time frame there really isn't any magic. Like it slowly starts to come into effect over time, obviously, but like there's like little hints of it that like like it could be true, or like the White Walkers, are they real, are they not? And then
But, like-
obviously within the show you find out that they are from the get-go, but it's more of a like magic has like pretty much disappeared from the world. Like dragons haven't been seen in like over 300 years by the point of the show has started.
Skyrim. What?
Boy, this is not no.
That's the beginning of Skyrim, dude. Oh, we haven't seen dragons since 500 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
what
like
the fuck?
magic is still heavily
Yeah.
within the world from
Yeah,
the get-go.
Yeah, I get it.
Read the books; they're very
Alright.
great, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love them.
So does that like wrap up our shit? Do we have any?
Yeah, I mean, does anyone else have any?
You got any broke boy deals, Devin?
I think that was
Alright,
too broke to speak.
I was eating.
Eating some Cheetos.
Some ramen.
The Humble Bundle is good this month.
What is it?
Yeah, actually,
Oh, there's
is
a brawler one. That's right. We might be doing a giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. So
Also,
I think if you subscribe for Humble Monthly, you get the new Deus Ex and Mafia 3 and other stuff.
and the money also goes to charity, whatever you pay. So that's a good thing too. If
yeah,
That's
you get
there's a
always
those
few.
things.
So like the brawler bundle is kind of cool. You get.
See, I'm most interested into the brawler one because y'all know me. I love fighting games. There's
I'm telling
there's
you, buy
Guilty
it.
Gear,
Rivals of Aether. We'll have it out. Like
Guilty
that.
Gear Age, Accord, Blaze Blue. I haven't played Blaze Blue in forever. I already have
Same.
Skullgirls.
And Guilty Gear, I never played Guilty Gear, but that's actually made by the same. The people who made Guilty Gear actually made Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people who played Guilty Gear beforehand, I don't know if the controls are similar, but the feel of the game is similar.
Right,
Oh, and
right.
Rivals of Aether on here too?
Yeah, dude. If you get the 9 or more, it's a great game. I absolutely love it. Like, I was looking for I wanted to play Super Smash Brothers on my PC, but the Dolphin emulator was giving me a few troubles. So one of my coworkers from work, he's like, he's like, you should try out Rivals of Aether. It's just a game on Steam. It's literally, it was made by like a fan of Super Smash Brothers, but the fighting style is more like it was from Melee, and it kind of builds on that. So it's kind of cool. So
Shit, I might buy this right now. I'm not gonna lie.
it's pretty sweet. And what's going on?
Oh, and if you guys want to check it out, we've been getting into Borderlands 2 a lot recently.
Yeah. Streaming on Twitch.
I don't really know what started this resurgence in the group, but
I've been trying to get it started for
but
months.
we're at it.
I think it
it's-
was Randall.
I think it
it's
was Randy.
Yeah, it's extremely fun. If you didn't know, apparently that when the pre-sequel came out, they added more DLC for Borderlands 2, which is like what? So,
Yeah.
but that's what they did. And so if you buy the Game of the Year, was made in 2013. Pre-sequel was 2014. So if you buy Game of the Year, you're getting like most of the DLC, but then there's some extra stuff that you could let's see. So it's like you would be paying $25 for the extra like DLC story content.
Yeah.
Then there's other stuff that's like cosmetics, which you don't have to bother with unless you really
Unless
like
you
it.
really want that shit.
Yeah.
Like
But-
Jared.
Hey, listen, I
Hey,
didn't buy
that was-
anything for the Commando. I bought stuff for the Siren because it was like worth it. That's like best characters in my opinion. And I didn't buy stuff for the Gunzerker because I don't really. I think in video games I don't like being short because I'm short in real life. So
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
actually
I
not
have
that
this
short.
Guilty
I'm
Gear.
average height, but still.
I already have two of these Guilty Gears.
Well, maybe
Yeah, I
we
think
can-
this is, so. If you want to pick up Borderlands 2, you can on G2A. It's about $10 for the Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, around there.
Also, for people who don't know, check out Green Man Gaming. It's a pretty cool site. It's pretty much like its own like GOG. They normally have like even brand new games for like sometimes like 15 to 20% off. I plan on buying Final Fantasy 15 from there, the Royal Edition for PC. The only downside is that once you buy it from Green Man Gaming, you are unable to refund it through Steam in general. So like once you buy it, it's yours. So I think Final Fantasy 15 on Steam is going for $50 and it's going for $40 on Green Man Gaming. That's where I bought my PC version of Chrono Trigger. So I bought it for like $11 and it's normally like $15 on Steam, which I wasn't really for.
Was that the game in the background on the last podcast?
Yeah,
Was
man.
that
Chrono,
Oh, yeah.
you're an RPG fanatic. I know you're gonna love this game.
I like this. My problem is I don't like to read, but I guess I'll have to start liking to read.
Dude, you have
My-
to read
my
like
name's-
every
my name's
Pokemon
Jared-
game.
Hey, this is one meme that I've been seeing. That,
Your
like,
vocabulary is
people have
very
been saying.
extensive.
It's like It's like, my name's Jared. I'm 20 years old, and I don't know how to read. I don't know where that comes from.
What? I don't know where that comes from either.
It's like a
You
meme.
on some bullshit.
I've seen it multiple
You on
times.
some baby back bullshit.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Devin, please.
was
Why'd you save that? Why you got that shit saved?
It's just saved on every folder I have.
Oh my god. All right, so thank you for tuning in, everyone. Good night. And
Oh yeah.
we're
Yeah,
gonna put it right there.